Before we begin, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Eric and I'm a stainless steel refret specialist based in Singapore. If you haven't already done so, do check out the first two videos on the channel for more context on who I am and how I got started. In this video, I want to talk about my overall approaches to refret work, not the technical step-by-step process just yet, but the way I evaluate guitars and think through each project. For this discussion, I'll be using this rather beautiful T-style guitar that I put together as an example. And just a quick note, if you'd like to inquire about refret work after watching this video, do reach out to me on Instagram at Roofulofgear. Please note that I do not actively respond to YouTube DMs. First and foremost, replacing frets is a major job. It's not something that I casually recommend to most players, and this series isn't intended to be a tutorial on how to start doing refrets yourself. Whenever someone approaches me about a refret, the first question I ask is why? The most obvious reason would be to do with fret wear, because if you play the guitar heavily for 5 to 7 years, especially your main instrument, chances are you'll start seeing wear in the areas you play most often. But poor playability, that is to say the sensation of how the strings interact with the fingerboard, is a significant reason why people choose to get a refret. A lot of players simply want their guitar to feel smoother, easier and more effortless to play. And for me personally, that's a big reason why I gravitate towards stainless steel frets. Because once polished properly, stainless steel frets feel incredibly smooth under the fingers and tend to stay that way for a very long time. Now, this aspect of stainless steel frets is especially useful here in Singapore, where humidity and oxidation can quickly dull traditional nickel-silver frets. So, for example, this parts caster that I have put together, it regularly needs fret polishing just to maintain that smooth playing feel if I don't play this guitar, for a certain period of time. With stainless steel, that issue becomes far less of a concern over time. Once the motivation behind the refret is clear, the next question becomes, well, what does the player actually want from the instrument? At the simplest level, most players just want the guitar to play better. But better can mean very different things depending on the individual. Some players want lower action, some want taller frets, some want a different fingerboard radius, right? For example, there have been so many requests of people who want to refret a guitar silver sky, right, from a 7¼ inch radius down to, let's say, a 10-inch. Others may be dealing with issues, for example, like neck twists, uneven fingerboard, or problematic geometry that can only really be addressed with a refret. So a big part of my job is translating a player's feedback into a realistic outcome. Equally important, understanding whether that outcome is even achievable. There have been projects I've declined because I knew I either didn't have the right tools for the job or felt someone else could serve the customer better. For example, if someone wants an extremely aggressive compound radius, I know someone who I can readily recommend because they know their way around a PLAC machine. The same goes if a neck has a finished fingerboard, like this guy, right? And if there happens to be a twist in neck itself, I currently do not offer finishing services. And so this is work I will not be able to take on unless the customer can accept, let's say, an oil finish on the fingerboard. Likewise, preserving fret end nibs on Gibsons, a very common request, is a very specialized process and one that I'm still working toward mastering properly. So I'd rather be honest about those limitations than overpromise and compromise the instrument. To summarize my process, every project starts with a conversation. I want to understand what the player is experiencing, what problems they're trying to solve, and what they want the guitar to feel like afterward, and whether refret is actually the appropriate solution. From there, the technical process begins. I will pull the frets, prepare the fingerboard by making sure it's level. I will probably level the fingerboard as well if it's a rosewood board or a darker raw wood kind of fingerboard. I would then install the frets to the fret leveling, crowning, polishing, and refining the fret ends. Honestly, I probably spend an unhealthy amount of time on fret end work, but that's intentional. I want the instrument to feel smooth, comfortable, and effortless in the player's hands. At the end of the day, the goal is not oh, did I install the frets? The goal is, did we achieve what the player wants from this guitar? Sometimes the honest answer is that a refret simply isn't necessary yet. If that's the case, I'll say so upfront. This is very important and I cannot stress it enough. I will not recommend a refret if that is a conclusion I arrive at based on the conversation I have with the client. Naturally, everything I've discussed here is still fairly broad because every player and every instrument is different. Hopefully this video gives you a better idea of how I approach refret work, philosophically speaking, before any tools touch the guitar. Before I end this video, let me ask you this. Have you ever had a guitar refretted? And if not, what would finally push you towards getting yours done? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, if you enjoyed what I've been sharing with you, do consider liking this video and likewise subscribing to the channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at Roofulofgear, okay, to see the latest projects and all the behind the scenes stuff. Thank you for watching. Stay savvy and I'll see you next time.